Okay, so here's the thing. I have thought about, believe it or not, creating this video for absolute ages, and I don't know still how to go about it, because I want to be as helpful and as authentic. I would love to just sit here and chat to you like, with my best mate, and I will be, just saying all the things and be super honest, but that is not always the smartest business move and probably not the best for my brand. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch back the vlog that I did, the 2-part vlog, I'll link it below, that I did about me quitting my job, and I feel like I need to go back into that position so I can really reflect back and just make the most of this video. Yeah, I'm gonna do that now. Well, that for sure was intense. But it was very lovely as well, because I read through all the comments that had kind of come through in the past year on the video, and it's just such a lovely, encouraging, just a lovely place to be in those comment sections. So if you want to go and catch up with that and vibe with people who think similar, go and do it. But I think I've got an idea how to make this video now, so give me a moment, let me sort myself out, and let's start the video. Okay, this is a little bit better, isn't it? A bit more presentable. It's the next day, I'm not gonna lie, because I needed the day to put some things in perspective. And like I said, I've wanted to do this video and I've been waiting to do this video, and the truth is that I really want to sit down and just tell you all, but it's just not the right thing to do. But I'm gonna try to give you as much value as I can and reflect in a way that hopefully you guys can relate and learn from and get inspired maybe at some point. So what I want to do is first look at how life has changed. I want to look at the downsides of being self-employed. Fly flying around annoying me. What else? Revelation that I had, because I think that's a big part of this story as well. I look back at my workload throughout this year, because that's been different from maybe what I anticipated. Maybe some future plans, kind of fill you in on where I see myself going and what's to come. Okay, so first things off, let's start on a high, on a good thing, on a good note, and it's how life has changed for the better. Looking back at those videos, the whole timeline, it started at 2019, like April 2019. It's just insane how long I stretched it out for. Now looking back, I realized that it really built itself up, the frustration and the depression and just the heaviness that I was walking around with, combining it with, being a new mom, completely discovering this whole new world and how to be in this world. It was a lot, and no wonder I felt the way that I felt. But now I can say that that has completely gone 180 degrees, flipped around completely. I don't live my life to work and then hopefully have some time left over to spend with my family, to live in my house, to go out for walks with my dog, to be present with the people that I want to be around with. I put myself first, I put my family, my quality time with friends first, my well-being and self-care, which is massive. It is massive, because I did not have time. I physically could not fit in any exercising or anything like that to really just nurture my body and feel healthy and feel fit again. That was really going downhill, like really bad. Now it's completely changed. One of the encouragement that I get to do the self-care and do the working out stuff is because I signed up for quite an expensive gym for a year membership. Well, fairly expensive, but it has been great because it's got everything that I need and it's right on my doorstep, so I can go and do it, and I can do it in my own time on my own terms, which usually is the mornings. It's always just there and I can and go and do it. Whereas before, I would have to be at the desk the whole day, and then after work, I come home. First of all, there's no energy left. Then I want to spend time with my family and with my daughter, and I need to eat. There was just no time for that. Whereas at the moment, it's completely flipped, and that is probably the best thing ever. I feel like I'm living my life for me and on my own terms. I'm not just existing to work and to clock in and clock out. Family, health, well-being, living life. Like I said, I want to live life. That's definitely happening. Okay, so it's not all highs and it's not all roses and rainbows and unicorns. I would say that for quite a lot of percentage of the time, I do have bad days. I have bad days a lot. The thing about being self-employed, when it's going good, when everything is going the way that you planned and the way it's supposed to, it is great. It's everything that you wanted. It's on your own terms, it's on your own timing, and it's the right clients, the projects, the payments. Everything is great and you are just on cloud nine. But when that cuts off, then the valleys, the lows, ooh, they are extra low and extra dark, especially because you are kind of on your own in all of this. Like, no matter how supportive I think your family could be, or maybe you get a business coach, you are always on your own in this. All of that, the worries, the challenges, the financial struggles, everything just like gets to you, even like in a deeper level. So I'm trying to not get upset. Yeah, it's a lot. There is a lot of downsides to this as well, and I think that is probably just a part of a growing business, a baby business in its infancy still, because 1 year on is nothing. It is absolutely nothing, and you kind of have to get through this crazy challenging time in order to see what actually this can become. You can't just give up because it's not working out. If you would look at my bank account and my financial situation, they'd be like, girl, you need to sort this out. You need to go and get a job, okay? But because we are sticking this out and I really want to make this happen, and I've got the vision, I got the drive for it, and I see where it can go, this time I'm not giving up. It's more like figuring out how I can balance this, how I can go around this, how I can get to the next point. Like, how can I get to the next checkpoint, whichever it is, whether it's the end of the month or the next project or next email that actually is replied to. It's very much like one foot in front of the other. It is hard because a lot of times you feel like you are on your own, which technically you are, but there is and there should be support around you. So do try to focus on that. If there's anything I can kind of give you from this experience, if you're feeling like that, that's what I do. And I also remind myself that the situation maybe, or like the low that I'm in at whatever time during the journey, it doesn't define me. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad designer or that I can't do my job or my skill set is weak. It does not define me as a creative, as a professional. It's just the journey. That's what I say to myself. That's what gets me through. So if I can leave any advice for you, then that will be it. And another challenge that kind of goes hand in hand with the first one is that I've got so many things that I want to do and I want to explore, but not all of them bring back return on the investment. There won't be a financial immediate return on what I would do or on the time that I invest, the energy that I put in. So a lot of times I get almost like this business mom guilt. You know, when you get your mom guilt where you leave your children to do other things. I feel guilty that I'm working on something that's not really effectively bringing back in income. At the same time, I want to go and explore it, right? So it's this kind of like inner fight between, should I do it, should I not? I should be doing something else. I should be working on more projects that are instantly giving me financial return instead of doing something like this, like the social media stuff, or working on my brand or something like that, right? That doesn't instantly give me like monetary value, which is very much the underlying underlying challenge of all of this at the moment. The upside of this is that I get to explore and I get to do all these things. And if I look back at those videos where I said, I want to do all the things and I've got all these ideas and I just don't have the time to explore it, I can do it now, and I am doing it, and it does feel good. It feels great, and I'm very, very thankful that I can do it. It's just, it takes time to build something out of nothing. Okay, so on the flip side, there's been a revelation that I had, and it only came to me like recently, which is quite interesting. So only like over a year in, I realized why I felt so trapped, and I was always blaming the projects, the company, the setup, the whole employment structure and all. I thought that that was the problem, and it's the complete opposite. Instead, I realized that I'm just not cut out for that type of structure. The interests that I have, the things that I want to do, it's not like every single person has that. That's why the employment route is just not for me. It's not because it's the wrong thing to do or it's broken, it's unfair. It's not that. It's just because I am different. I don't fit in there, and I shouldn't be in there. The whole conversation, the whole anger around it and just negativity around it just disappears. Because I'm just like, okay, it's not my place to be. It's fine. I need to go in a different direction, and that is cool. And other people do not have all of this mishmash in their brains, and they are fine with just focusing on one thing, and then the employment route is great for them. You know, it works for them. It was important to share this, just a little nugget, because maybe you are in that kind of a struggle as well, and you are thinking like, well, what is wrong, or is there something wrong with me? You know when you know when you are in that kind of a position where you just like intense, and what is going on? And then when you understand this, it's like, okay, you know, you wouldn't buy clothes that don't fit you, wear them and feel comfortable. No, you wouldn't. You would buy the size that you need, the color that you want, right fit, and that's when you feel most comfortable. That's when you can go and do the things that you want to do. Same with employment, self-employment. Boom. Okay, let's touch on workload, because I feel like that is a bit of an interesting topic here as well. The opportunities that I've had throughout this first year are not quite like what I expected. If we look at design, I have obviously had my freelance gigs, and my freelance gigs have mostly, and I would say 99%, been from connections, from referrals. By the way, you know who you are. Thank you for all the referrals that you are sending my way. Cold outreach has just been a waste of time, a waste of space. I am not losing hope in this, and I'm still trying to pursue it whenever I get the energy to put towards it, but referrals have been absolutely great for freelancing. In the beginning of the year, by the time this video comes out, I'm not sure if you'll have seen the whole project reveal, but in the beginning of the year I got a chance to work on a full interior design fit out project. So I did the concept design, I specified and detailed it all. Didn't do any project management, but I got to see the end result, and I was very much closely working with the client. And this was something that was not really on the cards for me, at least for this kind of first year. I really wanted to step back and just do the freelance work, not have any like emotional attachment to projects. But then when I got this opportunity, I thought, well, okay, I can kind of do this. Let's see how this works out. And I fell in love with the job again. It was a great client, great project to work on, and it felt very organic. When the ideas were flowing, like it was just ticking all the boxes. So that happened, and that really changed my mindset, and I started thinking, hold on, maybe then I can, maybe I want to start doing my own projects. And that kind of triggered a bit of something in the brain, and I just instantly started thinking, okay, how do I do this? How am I going to get out of freelancing and move into the commercial design world? And then after a few moments of looking into it, thinking about it, I realized that I have got some heavy heavy competition here, because the difference, I feel like the difference between commercial and residential designers is that residential is a lot easier to approach from a solo designer perspective. You don't need like a huge team behind you to do it. It's very much like a lot more personal than commercial design is. Whereas in commercial design world, if you want the good project and the proper money, not some tire kickers, not some we're gonna do this on our own scenarios, okay, then usually you've got a big team behind you. Usually you're a big name, you're a studio, and here is me, little me, trying to embark in this, trying to like approach these big opportunities, these bigger projects and bigger clients, bigger names. I'm still working on it. I'm still trying to figure out and trying to come up with the best route for me. So stay tuned. We shall see how that works out. I'm not giving up yet. I'm gonna find a way to figure this out and make it happen, because commercial hospitality design has got my heart. But yeah, we need to figure that out, how we're gonna crack this. And then some random potentials coming out of nowhere. I got an opportunity to pitch for a project in Dubai, in Thailand. And this has all just been kind of like coming from nowhere. I did not put the feelers out at all. This was the internet, the connections, the referrals working their magic. Now unfortunately they not have come true, but it was a conversation and I was able to have that conversation. I was able to be in the room, in the chat box, in the emails and in the video meetings, you know, to even discuss about this. So if I was still employed, I would not even have the opportunity to be considered for this type of work. So that has been quite cool. And then of course the social media side of things. I was approached by Swatchbox and hired to do content creation for them for Clerkenwell Design Week, and I've done collaborations with companies and designers that I would have not really even thought about approaching, and it's turning into its own little entity of this thing that I will be doing. So workload wise, that has been a cool little twist, and at the moment I'm working on a social media training course for interior designers. Link below if you want to sign up. But again, it's something that has just kind of naturally evolved and become a thing. It's mad to look back at all of this. Design, freelancing, social media, content creation. Okay, we are almost done with the video and I need to ask you a quick, simple favor. Can you please like the video, comment if you have any thoughts after watching this video, because it's just gonna help me so much in my creator journey. Algorithm is a tough nut to crack, so if you just press that little heart button, that will make a massive difference in all of this. Okay, back to the video. So two more things that I wanted to talk about. First one is the lessons learned. This might be just something that you can take away, think about, and maybe if you are approaching your own self-employment journey at some point or now, then this might help you. So the first one, a new job or new opportunity can land at any point. I'm telling you, I've spent weeks and days of feeling down and depressed and not getting anywhere and just feeling so stuck and feeling like there's no hope. Nothing is working out. Nothing is giving me anything. There's nothing coming back. And then I wake up in the morning, I go about my day, and 11:36 a.m. I get an email asking to do a new freelance gig or look at a new project and go to a site survey the following day. It is that unpredictable, and I personally try to use it as a motivation. Something great is just around the corner. It's on its way to you and can land at any minute. So don't get stuck. The situation that you are in now, it does not determine how good you are or the possibilities that could be out there for you, the opportunities, the new jobs, the new projects that could come in. Next one is that freedom expresses itself in different ways. So it doesn't mean that you will have all the freedom and you will not have to work hard and work nights and work weekends. It doesn't mean that your life is just going to be floating about. But what it does mean that you might be putting in the shifts, you might be working the weekends, but then you can have the following week off, and then you have the space, the time to just zone out and chill. And at the same time, just because you are giving yourself some rest time, it doesn't mean that you are not working hard enough, because you just need this time to recharge. So that was a good little lesson about freedom, about flexibility. That networking is everything. Your connections, your referrals is where it's at. Like, there's no other way. It's as simple as that and as straightforward as that. All of my business, my opportunities, well, most of them have come from referrals, where I have put my own initiative and planted the seeds and nurtured the relationship. Yes, that has happened as well. Not as much as with design projects and freelancing, more with social media stuff like the Swatch Box opportunities, the Regeneration Brainery speaking event that I just did. All of those were my own initiatives and reaching out and nurturing that. But with design work, when it comes to that, referrals have been the be all end all. My network, who knows what I do, how I do it, that's just happened. So network, referrals, just capitalize on that, work on that. Cold calling just does not work. I don't know, it doesn't work for me. It might work for other people. Maybe I don't put enough effort into it. I don't know. Next one is that everything takes so much longer than you anticipated, okay? And this means anything in your workload, what you are planning to do, like the tasks that you need to take, as well as nurturing the network, the relationships, and trying to get somewhere. If you think about it, when someone doesn't know who you are, they've got no idea. The first reach out is just like a little tickle, a little breeze. Oh, where did that come from? Oh, who was that? Oh, never mind, forget about it. And then you need to remind them about you. Put your face and your name in front of them again, and then they go, oh yeah, I remember, that was you, okay. Then you need to start talking about the opportunities, and it's building a layer and layer and layer and time again. So by the time you actually got something out of this first initial conversation or reach out, it could be months, it could be 3, 6 months, a year even in, before you even get any kind of return. So that is something that you need to lock into your mindset and just be ready for it. Things are gonna take time. So how are you gonna survive until you get to reap the fruits, the benefits of your hard work, of your effort? Is always know your next steps. Always think ahead. Have a plan. Have some kind of a roadmap that you are following, because without a plan, every day is just gonna be a mess, and you will look back and think, why am I wasting this time? One thing that where did I hear this? It was a reel posted by Trevor Crump. He's a business owner and entrepreneur, and he was talking about the fact that he was feeling like he's just not accomplishing things, and it all felt like there's always more things to do, and it just feels like you are trapped. I can definitely relate to that, especially with having all of these opportunities that you could be working on. You should be doing the outreach, developing your website, working on portfolio, doing social media, doing networking events, and the to-do list is just never ending. So what he was saying is that you just have to know the bigger picture, the bigger plan, and be strict with your to-do list. Have some targets that you need to hit, and then move on to the next one, because there's always going to be things to do, right? There's always going to be stuff that we can do, which is great, but we need to rein it in. We need to set our own boundaries. Always know what your next step is, what you need to do to achieve like your goals. Hope that helps. Okay, last one, future plans. Let's see what we have in store. So I'm definitely planning to keep at it, keeping on, keep carrying on, and I'm definitely not slowing down. I'm not stopping. I just want to continue and work on those seeds that I have planted, start to look for new opportunities. Big game changer for me, and kind of like the future vision, was the KPI book. So Key Person of Influence book. I will link it below. Absolute game changer. A friend of mine just suggested, she was like, well, maybe there's something like missing that you are not doing. Maybe there's just a little tweak that you need to do. So I've read the book. It just makes sense what the author is talking about in the book. You need to have all of these things in place if you want to be the KPI, the key person of influence in your industry. And when you start to think about that, it's like, yes, that makes sense. I do need a website. I do need this presence. I do need to do that. And the way that he lays it all out, it just makes it a lot more manageable. So that's the roadmap I'm following. I'm trying to get all of those things into place in one way or another and see where it takes me. Because like I said, I feel like a small fish in a big pond with these big companies around me. So it's a long journey and a lot of things to do, but that's where we're going. And I hope that I can still do all of these things. I can do my design, I can do the social media, and they kind of both live in this lovely little universe ecosystem and sort of feed off of each other. I can't do YouTube without actually practicing interior design. And if I'm just doing interior design, I know that I get bored, I get distracted, I get depressed, deflated. I need the social media interaction and the different output of creativity to feed back energy into the interior design project. So that's my plan. We shall see. Okay, that is it for today's video. I hope it was useful. Like, honestly, I wish I could fully give you the goss inside and out, but we just can't do it. Not at this time. Maybe later on when I'm fully successful, massive designer brand, I can actually go back and say, you know, listen guys, this was what was actually happening behind the scenes, and we'll see if I can do that later on in life. If you need something to finish this off and like a little goodbye thought, if you want to do it, if you got the idea and it's just nagging you, you will find a way to make it happen. The thought and the possibility of being stuck and feeling small and depressed and just unfulfilled but safe, just thought of that is worse than feeling your worst when you are free, you are flexible to do your own thing. That is still worse than being at your low when you are doing your thing. You're gonna find a way. You're gonna find a way and you're just gonna go and do it and make it happen. But it takes time. Remember that. Need to remind that to myself. Okay, that is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to stick around for a few more, I'm gonna link them on the side, link them below. Please like the video, leave some comments. What are your thoughts? And if you watched the video over a year ago, drop me a message down there. It would be lovely to kind of catch up with you because the comments in the previous video were really heartwarming. Other than that, I'll see you on Instagram and on Threads. That's a new one to say. Instagram and Threads. Oh, see you there. Bye.